But when these varsity hopefuls lay out a blanket in the living room, their training goes overboard. Mr. Muscleshirt flips his partner too far, and she scores big in the pain category. It's back to square one for these pep stars. But in Georgia, these after-school tumblers are ready to go to the next level. They set up for the three-person stack. Of course, without a solid foundation, jumping in throws them way off. The babe in burgundy tumbles safely into the mat. Her partner in white isn't as lucky. She falls back head first. Thankfully, there aren't too many witnesses to this painful practice. But at the First Baptist Academy in Dallas, Texas, the time for rehearsal is over. The cheerleaders earn their place on a field made for athletes. But that doesn't mean they're ready to share the arena. Because when game time comes, it's make way for the meatheads, or else. The miniskirt miss gets steamrolled by the offensive line. Not exactly a banner performance. Because while cheerleading is as much a sport as any, it's not supposed to be full contact. You'd think by the time you get to college, you'd learn to let stuff slide. Not this pinkalicious pupil. The student in black made a harmless joke about Pinky's wardrobe. And now Mr. Fancy Pants is ready to butt heads. He knocks noggins thinking it will teach the other guy a lesson. But he's the one who gets schooled. Still, the scrappy fashionista is not about to call it quits. And suddenly, this fight is on the edge of going way too far. The good news is Black Jacket doesn't buy the farm on the ledge. The bad news is,
yo, somebody get his wallet, yo.
He won't be buying anything else either. Thankfully, a passing professor breaks up the brawl. Then campus police take the headbutter into custody. And even worse, strip him of his accessories. He thought he was defending his choice of threads, but it was his reputation that got left in tatters.
Still to come, some co-eds have no class. First, see what happens when a practical joker crashes a lecture. And nobody's laughing. Then, downtime in the dorms creates some truly frightening fools. And a big sports win for one university turns into a major loss for the entire city. They're hitting more than the books on Most Daring. Students Gone Wild.
In the wake of North Carolina's basketball title, delirious undergrads hit the streets in party mode. But the love fest takes a dark turn when the fired-up fans start destroying the streets. And as the crowds get more raucous, it's no longer enough to bleed Tar Heel blue. Some just want each other to bleed. a local businesswoman scolds some of the kids for their destructive ways. When one punk pushes her, this redhead intercedes and becomes the focus of the posse's wrath. Seconds later, officers cut through the crowd and nab the hooligans. Now for turning this street party into a celebration of violence. Cops will be forced to slap them with charges. There are a number of ways students living in dorms pass the time between classes. Like convincing your drunken buddy to run full steam down the hall. Of course, it isn't easy for a boozer to negotiate a glass doorway. The befuddled brute veers into the door jam, and it's bottoms up. He'll join the laughs as soon as the swelling goes down. Then there's these guys, who take dorm antics to new heights of stupidity. The resident jackass is pushed on an office chair into a jagged wall. Hard to believe that ended badly. But the gold standard for hallway foolishness is mattress jousting. Two contestants charging blindly down the corridor in order to... what exactly? The lesson here, for every idiotic action, there's an equal but opposite reaction.
Breaking the door?
When it comes to goofing off, these dorm dwellers really use their heads. Which is why they probably all just got concussions. Gloucester, England. Goldilocks here was rejected by this university, and now he's getting revenge by disrupting a class. Guess he thinks if he can't learn, no one will. But his big stunt is about to backfire.
Excuse me.
Another scholar confronts the idiot. And that's when he decides to stop pulling jokes and punches. The troublemaker goes on the attack. And it takes several other students to hold him back. And to finally teach him a painful lesson. Of course, with the professor calling police, the trespasser suddenly can't wait to get away from school.
Let's go this one.
And now, just like his chances of being accepted at this college, he's history. There are few things college guys will dedicate themselves to with more passion than pranking their roommates. Anyone for a beer?
Check it out. It's on the bottom shelf.
Instead of a cold brew, this sucker opens the fridge and gets a chilling surprise. Now he could really use a drink.
Oh my god, awesome! I can't breathe!
Give these conspirators an A for execution.
They need to hit the fridge.
Sometimes, however, such hijinks end up backfiring. When this undergrad arrives home late at night, he gets a less than friendly wake-up call. That's not a ghost under the sheet. It's a pal who just made his friend cry.
So sorry.
But if you think those small frights were funny, get ready.
This will be good. Watch.
Because here comes the world's jumpiest roommate.